everybody, welcome back to another episode of the DAO Invalid podcast. I'm still your host, Fusion Crypto MC, and we are continuing to explore what's going on in Web3 space. And because Web3 is about people, all the recruitment and hiring set of questions is available for us. And I am having today, please give your line of applause to Owen Healy. He is the Senior Recruitment Manager at Blockchain Headhunter. And since 2017, the year of the ICO high, Blockchain Headhunter is one of the first and most consistent executive search and recruitment agencies in the crypto and blockchain space. Am I correct, Owen? And welcome to our podcast. It's great to have you on.
Good, yeah. So I joined Blockchain Headhunter last year, but the agency itself has been around since 2017. You're correct there. So, it's great to be here, and look forward very much look forward to answering any questions that you may have.
Amazing. You are a professional headhunter. You started long before Web3, then you joined Web3. Tell us your story. How did you get into Web3 space, and how did you become senior recruitment manager with the Blockchain Headhunter?
Yeah, so I guess my story into Web3 is very much that of a COVID accident, I suppose. I was an unemployed HR manager with the onslaught of the COVID pandemic. All throughout a few months of COVID, I was unemployed, and through that then I got into the Web3 space, did some freelance recruitment, got involved with Blockchain Headhunter, Michael through that, and it's been absolutely wonderful ever since. And I guess it's turning a passion. I got to turn my passion into a career, really by accident over the course of the COVID pandemic. I suppose prior to COVID, I suppose I had read Daniel Dresker's Blockchain Basic book 20 times over, and was very curious about the space. Very much came from the mentality, fix the money, fix the world, hence the Kappa course. But I guess it's absolutely great to be in the space, and I can never see myself leaving it. So I suppose I got into the space by accident, really.
Great story. That's don't mind that, because there's no such a thing like an accident, because a God hand drives us our life. What excites you most in the Web3 space? People, tech, freedom, anarcho-capitalism, or libertarian thoughts?
So again, why I got into the space was very much a fix the money, fix the world mentality. I see loose monetary policy as being a source of great poverty and suffering throughout the world. And I think hence the phrase Bitcoin fixes this. But I do believe in a world where proof of stake and proof of work can coexist. And I do believe that the Web3 movement as a whole will, I suppose, not only change, I suppose, operating systems, storage systems, but fundamentally in how we work as well, and evolve as individuals. And I suppose I'm seeing that very much before my eyes. As a blockchain recruiter at the moment, labor markets are becoming more and more democratic, and the blockchain ecosystem is very much accelerating that. Blockchain developers in South America will often command the same salary as one in North America. So no matter where your GDP, no matter what the GDP of your country is, no matter what the local market that is in terms of what salary you should be earning, these guys don't care. There is a scarcity, and it's very much accelerating the democratization of labor markets. And it's all about global market data, not local market data. Hence the phrase proof of work within labor markets is more key in Web3 than any other space. And it's just a really exciting place to be in, isn't it? Yeah,
absolutely. Talking about transborderness, because we have no borders in the industry, and all the up to 8 billion people have become de facto united with the crypto. This is amazing. It is it is disrupting the labor markets like we need them in the 20th century. That's absolutely disruptive. And I'm personally, I'm super excited to be in the industry. Tell us, Owen, how is headhunting different in Web3 if to compare with other businesses? What is the specific of hiring staff in the Web3 and blockchain space?
Yeah, so naturally enough, it's more global, I suppose. That's the first thing, of course. And I suppose from a sourcing strategy, there is a lot more emphasis on community as well. So, for example, the Blockchain Headhunter has a community of, I think, close to 8,000 on Telegram, very strong presence on Discord as well, and a huge presence on LinkedIn. I think social recruitment is a much more relevant, and the power of community is much more relevant. I suppose in terms of this general skills that you're looking for, very much more specialized. Obviously, I suppose we as recruiters have to have a good, strong underlying knowledge of the products that we're working with, and almost to the extent that we have to believe in them ourselves, and I guess have a good understanding of various different protocols as well. And again, I guess what I suppose with that, I suppose there's a lot more due diligence. Of course, there's the North Korean scamdemic in terms of developers. Yeah, that's anyway. But and then I suppose there's what you notice is that obviously these projects, they're very much, they're in startup mode, they're building, they're really working on the initial stages of the roadmap. So their requirements change quite regularly. So we have to be adaptive and very much keeping in communicating with them regularly to understand, right, this is the job spec. Is the job spec the same now as it was maybe 2 weeks ago? And yeah, because again, it's a constant, it's a constant state of flux, really.
May you name top 5 or not exactly top 3 the most popular vacancies for now in your industry, which you meet every day?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So I suppose the bear market really has had an impact on non-technical roles. There is no point in saying otherwise. But that being said, I think I'm really witnessing the acceleration of Rust grow. And yeah, I think Rust developers, I suppose as a recruitment agency, you almost feel like telling clients you'll take what you get. They're in very short supply. The demand for professional Rust developers is huge. And yeah, I'd often encourage clients to potentially look at C++ developers and allow them to learn Rust on the job, for example.
This is regarding developers. I'm asking in general about non-tech persons. Do you deal with
non-tech persons? Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
So at the moment,
sales, so on, biz devs.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, at the moment we're witnessing a huge demand for investor relations professionals. So again, there's a lot of money on the sidelines, a lot of there's a reluctance obviously to allocate that capital, and yeah, I think there's a big demand for investor relations professionals at this particular moment in time. Again, with respect to other areas, I think business development is an area that is continuing to evolve, and at all levels there's a strong demand for business development professionals. And as well as that, digital design as well is an area that is really there's a strong demand for digital designers as well. But just to reiterate, I suppose the bear market has had an effect on non-technical roles within the space. All the projects are now building again, and during the bull market we would have been an agency that would have potentially had an even split between non-technical and technical roles, where now it's probably 80% technical, 20% non-technical. So I'll probably give you a bit of context as to how things are at the moment. Yeah.
Is your scope all around the globe? So you are not dealing with the localized market, because we don't have even localized, we don't have something like localized markets in the blockchain is worldwide, cross-border. Okay, so you do not deal with geography. I wonder the same thing like outstaffing of Web3 developers. When you do not hire, then you rent the personnel. You know what does it mean? It has experienced a huge supply in recent times. So I would love to ask you, is it popular among Web3 projects not to hire, but to rent a personnel, or they try to hire staff and they team directly? How would you say?
Yeah, so we don't do the outsourcing, and we don't rent out developers, and we hire directly on behalf of our clients. To answer your question, it really depends on the project. I suppose a lot of, yeah, so again, kind of that market will be very interesting to see how that outsourcing model in Web3 kind of continues, because I see that a lot of DAOs and a lot more communities are really strengthening, and a lot of those short-term requirements can be fulfilled by reaching out in those communities directly. So we've actually, funnily enough, whilst I emphasize that we're not an outsourcing company, we do have a Telegram group that has been very successful in helping people get such opportunities on a short-term basis. And yeah, so yeah, I guess we have been helping people get such roles without even knowing it. Yeah.
A year ago, companies were hunting for, even for juniors tech developers. They created education courses, they hired juniors. What is the situation now for juniors? How do you evaluate the chances for junior tech developers to get a job in the blockchain space?
It's really, yeah, so again, absolutely. There's still opportunities there. Yeah, there's still opportunities there, 100%. It all comes down to the live coding assignment and I suppose the rapport between the end user client and the candidate. But yeah, of course, there is still demand for junior developers as well. But again, when I mean junior, has to have at least 1 year's experience within Solidity, to be perfectly honest, or within our general programming at least. But yeah, there is still a demand absolutely for junior developers. But again, what is great about things like DAOs, for example, people are kind of building their network and also earning money, building their skill set.
One of the trends
for junior developers, it's great to see they're really kind of benefiting from the DAOs at the moment. Yeah.
Okay. One of the trends we have seen recently is slowly or not slowly moving of top managers from Web2 companies to Web3 companies. You know what I'm talking about. Would you suggest people who are still in Web2 and are not looking into Web3 because of not resilient and so on, so for you to understand, would you suggest them strategically to look from Web2 into Web3 realm and to move strategically in their lives? And if yes, why?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So I suppose I've spoken to people from, for example, I spoke to a product professional from a fan company that was earning 700,000, and naturally enough, I wouldn't be able to get that person a job for such a salary in the Web3 space. I spoke to an investor relations professional who's commanding a salary of a 7-figure sum. Unfortunately, I couldn't assist in that regard either. But I suppose there is a sense of, I suppose, take off the golden handcuffs, understand, really research potential projects that, and look at the possibilities rather than what is. And how I best describe that is an incident last year where I had a candidate who effectively replied to me saying that they wouldn't entertain any job spec under a salary of $250,000 US. Now that's okay, but the options that would have accompanied that during the bull market would have been worth over 2 million, because the project ultimately became a huge success. And this was last year. So that's kind of look at the possibilities rather than what is. And I suppose always, if you believe in a project, take the salary hit if you're kind of a C-level in a big multinational company. Look at the options, look at vesting schedules, token allocations, equity, anything at all. I suppose the industry standard really is a 3 years vesting schedule with a 1 year cliff. And if you believe in the project, go for it. Just take off the golden handcuffs and go for it, because it's when you have that level of security within a major Web2 company, it can be very difficult. But again, and I suppose that's compounded by the fact as well that a lot of these Web3 projects are a bit myopic in terms of what they're looking for. They don't appreciate how Web2 talent can be directly applied into a Web3 context. So yeah, it's again, kind of, I would obviously advise someone to just research projects, try and maybe get in as a consultant maybe to a few projects, look at what the major VCs are investing in, and go from there. Find out what projects identify with you as a person, and be consulting whilst continually educating yourself as well, and decide whether it is a space that you want to join. Because let's be honest, whilst it is very empowering, it's not for the faint-hearted. We are working in extremely busy environments, and yeah, it's it is really a busy game, isn't it? Yeah.
What is the most hardest part of your job? The most difficult part of your job?
I don't know the most hardest part. I suppose it's just I suppose it's obviously telling candidates bad news, and I guess some of these roles can have lengthy interview processes, almost to the point where candidates can feel like they're an external consultant sometimes, which isn't right. But again, it could come down to the last two people, and unfortunately that person was number two. And yeah, obviously telling employees or candidates that were very vested in the interview process that they weren't successful is obviously not easy. But I guess the most frustrating thing then is the North Koreans, the scam developers. Yeah, just speaking to them, it's really a pain, and it can be quite difficult sometimes to separate the good from the bad. And I suppose it's a bit, it's again, obviously you try and give people the benefit of the doubt initially, but yeah, it's very frustrating, and it can be difficult to see sometimes there's a scam from a not so scam. But again, kind of comes with practice. You kind of ask thought-provoking questions. That's where your real knowledge of underlying protocols really come in, and you try and get them off script as best you possibly can. And you obviously tell clients in advance to be very much aware, get them to use proctoring software, get their personal details before they start. Thankfully, we haven't hired one yet, but it's my biggest fear. And yeah, and again, kind of, I think Asian candidates in general are being discriminated against. Genuine Asian candidates are being discriminated against because it is, and you like to give them the benefit of the doubt. But when you're speaking to them, it's more of a hindrance rather than, it's not so much difficult to say. Some of the CVs are better written than others. Some of the communicators are more better than others. But again, get them off script, research the previous projects. It's maybe it's not so much difficult. It is challenging, but it's just paranoia. You don't want to get caught. I haven't gotten caught yet, so I have no intention of that happening. But difficulty, yeah. No, it's not difficult. Like, you see everything difficult as a challenge, really, and you haven't time to think about
like a job
anything.
with people, talking to people. Okay, so for those Web3 specialists and Web3 projects who are, I'm absolutely confident, are watching this interview right now, and they are searching for, give us tips how to find a dream job, how to hire a good Web3 specialist. Let's give some tips, if you don't mind. Tips and recommendations for Web3 projects, for founders, for team members, for our recruiters. How to look and effectively how to find a great team member for a blockchain product? What was this? What do you suggest?
Yeah, so first of all, I suppose get your job spec right. Clearly define job spec, clearly outline what your product is. Don't be afraid to share your dreams and aspirations with potential candidates. Show them their pitch deck, show them their roadmap, show them what plan, where you want to be in effectively 3 years' time. And I suppose share your knowledge and share your dreams with everyone else. And the reason I say that is because you'll be surprised how many people come to us and say, we're looking for a Rust developer, a Golang developer. That's okay. What are you actually doing? Oh, we can't say that we just want to speak to Rust developers. We just want to speak to Golang developers. Okay. So and if I tell anyone what I'm planning on doing, I would want that candidate or that successful hire to sign an NDA, and I just go, wait, I can't help you. I don't want to help you. And why should I help you when I know nothing about you? And you'd be surprised how often that happens. So just share your ambitions, share your knowledge, and have a clearly defined job description. Don't be afraid to use all the various different social channels out there as well. You have LinkedIn, you have Telegram. I wouldn't really recommend Discord because that's where a lot of them North Koreans hang out. But yeah, so again, I would heavily recommend you. So for example, we have a close community on Blockchain Headhunter. I think there's well over 15,000 members in that community. Share it there, because you suppose you're getting automatic, you're getting access to a group that has people that are intrinsically motivated by the space, potential job seekers as well. And yeah, again,
Well, I will summarize. As more you share your values, your product, your roadmap, your idea, your mission out there, the more chances you will get the right person to your team, because everybody is working what's going on. Okay, got the main idea. And recommendations for Web3 future employees or specialists or experts, whatever you want to say. How to get a dream job, a good job in Web3 life, or to change the existing job to another job, which is much more attractive.
Yeah. So again, as I alluded to earlier, I suppose the space can be a little bit myopic in terms of what they're looking for, like how projects can be a bit myopic in terms of what they're looking for. They don't appreciate, I suppose, Web2 talent, and it's something that I find in some cases, like I know there's obviously unique nuances attached to this industry, but again, yeah, it's something that I think that we should widen the net a bit. I think when it comes to our requirements, and maybe that's just me as a recruiter saying that, but yeah, but I think the first thing to do is constantly educate yourself. If you're looking to move into the Web3, or are you crypto curious, I always advocate a course from the University of Nicosia, Introduction to Digital Currencies. It's a free course. I think the next onboarding is in September sometime. It's a 12-week course, week by week. And yeah, it's fairly comprehensive and it's free. And there's a lot of other free resources online for people to learn about the industry as well. Understand what you want to do, what makes you passionate, and how you can apply that to a Web3 setting. So are you, like, in a previous life, were you interested in fashion? Well, there's a huge, digital fashion is obviously huge now at the moment. Various different things like that. What do you want to democratize? Is it the music industry, or is it the finance space? And obviously, I think one key skill, I suppose, as a recruiter, that is fantastic, and one key skill that I advocate that everyone do to get into Web3 is really build your LinkedIn profile. And because Web3, as you well know, is a very tight-knit community, and your network is your net worth in many respects. And so I would say to anyone, build your networks, build your connections, build your brand really on LinkedIn, publish, participate, and position yourself in the industry as well.
Personal brand. Yeah, definitely.
And by participating in other people's comments and posts, for example, and providing, I suppose, giving thought-provoking insights and illustrating your proof of interest, you're effectively highlighting your skills and building your following, and that will trickle into a job opportunity, no doubt. And again, look at what the VCs are looking at. So to get started, I would always advocate, if you're looking for a job, look at what the VCs are looking for. Look at what the VCs are investing in, rather, because again, those projects will have an air of legitimacy, which a lot of Web3 projects unfortunately don't, and see which ones maybe interest you as a starting point. And again, just show how passionate you are, really.
Absolutely.
Because
show how passionate you are.
Everyone says they're passionate, but talk is cheap. But what I would say is, like, for example, show these projects where you can add value and really show your passion. So for example, if you're a business graduate or a business development professional in the Web2 space and you have absolutely no experience in Web3, show maybe how you can add value to that project. Devise a go-to-market strategy for that project, and based on the knowledge that you know, and yeah, something simple like that.
So show your passion. I love your recommendation. This is a summary. Show your passion, show yourself, show your knowledge, and you'll find your dream job. Okay, Owen, let's suppose that somebody from Web3, any specialist is watching us right now, and okay, guys, you have sold me your job. What should I do next to find my dream job with the help of Blockchain Headhunter? Blockchain Hunter, sorry. What should he do? Where to join? What chats? Whom to write? Further steps.
Yeah, so you'll find us all over LinkedIn. As a Web3 recruitment agency, we have the largest social following across various different forums. We have over 100,000 followers. So you'll find us on LinkedIn, you'll find us on Telegram, you'll find us on Discord, albeit to a lesser extent. You'll find us even on Reddit and Twitter. But I suppose I would heavily recommend you check out the website as well. There's nearly about 90 something at the moment active roles in the space. So heavily recommend you check out that. Connections on LinkedIn. And look forward to learning and getting to know each other. And I suppose, yeah, we always try and advocate a couple of hours a week to try people to learn about the space as well. So you'll often see myself, for example, publicly posting resumes of people on LinkedIn looking to get started effectively in the space. So yeah, we do try and help people get involved as much as we can, albeit there is only so much that we can do, unfortunately.
I know that a lot of candidates, a lot of professionals in Web3 space are coming from the post-Soviet Union territory, the former countries like Ukraine, Belarus, Russia. They have a strong mathematical school and skills. A lot of them now in this not so easy conditions are considering to relocate, to move into Europe or United States. Do you deal with such questions? If yes, do you help them to relocate, or it is not the job of Blockchain Headhunter?
So it really depends on the client's willingness to help with relocation. I suppose, unfortunately, that's something that Web3 projects don't really accommodate too often, I suppose, to be perfectly honest. For example, at the moment, we'd only have one client at the moment that is assisting with relocation at the moment. And it's something like that. I suppose the great thing about Web3, it's that it's facilitating remote first environments and democratization of labor markets, but it doesn't, Web3 projects don't really assist much in assisting with relocation. But to go back in your initial point, yeah, in a lot of these former Soviet countries, the wealth of Web3 talent is unbelievable. And yeah, I suppose it's,
okay, I got the idea. So relocation is not a part of the Web3 ecosystem.
Unfortunately not, no. Again, kind of we do get asked kind of from a lot of candidates whether visas will be supported with certain employers, and unfortunately the sad reality is that more often than not they're not. Yeah.
Okay.
But hopefully as the space matures and grows, it will become more commonplace. And I think from a HR point of view and an admin point of view, Web3 is seriously behind. I think HR practices within the industry really need to improve amongst a lot of these projects. And things like, I've looked at very poorly written NDAs, for example, very poorly written employment contracts that were just, I say, copied and pasted off the internet. So hopefully that whole HR space will improve. And with that, then these projects will look at building a more sustainable talent pipeline. And with that, look at the option for
And finally,
visas as well, and getting the best candidate overseas into their organizations and projects. Yeah.
Get it. Finally, Owen, is it possible to reach you personally on the internet to talk? And what is the best way to follow you on the internet and to reach you personally, directly contact you?
Yeah, so connect with me on LinkedIn, send me an email on LinkedIn, or connect with me directly. And yeah, if I'm not on a screening call or speaking with a client, I will try and get back to you as soon as possible. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Owen Healy, the Senior Recruitment Manager at Blockchain Headhunter. We have known a lot of what's going on in the Web3 space, but things are moving very, very fast. Every 3 or even 6 months, things radically change. So look into Web3 realm if you are even not in Web3 space at all. From my opinion, Web3 is absolutely a deep realm. So if you have a general profession in any other sphere, you may find yourself, maybe not now, but in the future in the Web3 space. This is our reality. Thank you very much, Owen Healy. Owen Healy and Eugene Crypto MC were with you. Thank you for watching and listening the Dow and Vela podcast. Please like, subscribe, share, do subscribe on our YouTube channel, because we are delivering you podcasts on a weekly basis. And stay tuned for the next episodes of the Dow and Vela podcast. Bye-bye. Blockchain. B-L-O-C-K chain. Digital money, smart contracts, NFT, IDO, decentralization, transparency. So many opportunities, but so many challenges. Some financial manipulators, by their actions, confuse blockchain solutions and block their development. The idea that the blockchain should bring copyright and royalties protection to the next level is quite old, but the realizations of these ideas are not perfect at all. There is another problem of determining the value of a particular cryptocurrency or NFT. These and other problems need to be solved. Fortunately, the blockchain infrastructure is evolving. My name is E, Mr. E, and I represent the Envelope project. Many things have already been invented in the blockchain today. Tokens, smart contracts, platforms for creating your own coins, NFTs, exchanges for buying, selling, and exchanging all these blockchain resources. Envelope is another step in the development of crypto technologies. The protocol that works with NFT and cryptocurrencies. The idea is simple but disruptive. Let's assume you have an NFT, Bitcoin and Ethereum. Using the Envelope protocol, you can wrap the original NFT accompanied with several tokens. Technically, you get a similar NFT, but what is the breakthrough here? Once wrapped, the token has a number of additional features that were not available before. The minimal cost appears. It is provided with coins wrapped together with NFT. An asset wrapped with Envelope has a number of properties that allow the original author to receive royalties from the resale of that asset. Various rules can be applied to the wrapped token. For example, a lock period for unwrapping. It secures the asset till the determined moment or safeguards it from speculation during the hype period. At the same time, wrapped tokens can be transferred and traded. These are just some of the scenarios for using Envelope. NFTs become more popular, and the tools provided by Envelope expand the opportunities of NFTs utilization. Wide application possibilities are achieved due to the fact that, in addition to the protocol, the project includes a number of subsystems. The protocol provides functions wrapping and unwrapping. Oracle Mechanics provides asset valuation using analytical algorithms. Index provides a summary assessment of several NFT assets with the common criteria. The project has its own token, which connects all elements of the system. Altogether, this is Envelope, a tool in the blockchain world for building modern and secure systems in various fields. Find more info about the project on the website. Envelope. Make your NFT valuable. Just practical, no hype.